Good afternoon, happy Saturday. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 161, with not one, but two dynamic, electrifying, abundant, unbelievably beautiful souls. Dave, I see you on. We're going to bring you on right now. Let's get this party started, baby. Let us know how you guys are feeling in the chats. What are you most pumped about in life? We are a week away from CLS 39, birthday VIP dinner, super pumped. And I can't wait to see Uncle Dave right now, quite frankly. So there's that. All right, Dave, I see the request. Let's get this party started. Okay, here we go. Dave. Rudy, great to see you, brother. Hi.
Good morning, my brother.
Where are you? Mobile Meltzer's back? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm speaking down in San Diego to finalize the fourth speech of the week at TAG Talks down, and then I'm going to Padres game with my family and three of Miles's friends. See the Padres beat up on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Nice. Full day, full life. Really.
Got my Padre jacket on, so it's good.
Oh, heck yeah. Great stuff. How are they doing this year? I haven't been following that, if I'm being
Average
honest.
at best, but it's early in the season, man. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you have the lead as long as you have the heart to come from behind.
Ooh, now there's a life juicy nugget right there. How was the mastermind yesterday at SoFi?
You know, it was one of the better ones. We're always blessed to have, but people just show up, man. We had Meta World Peace, Marcellus Wiley, Dan Fleischman, Maria Diamond. We had David Nurse. Incredible people pouring into our community, and it was SoFi, so everybody loved that. But I think we sold out like in 5 minutes, and there's no doubt why, with the amount of people that we had and what we were doing. We were changing, like, people were in tears of happiness at the end of the day. They didn't want to leave, but I had to get home, and I hit a wall around 3 o'clock because I had come in from Utah early in the morning from SolarCon, where we have Gary V and Andy Elliott and Jeremy Miner, just amazing people. Clinton Sparks flew in, Sam Taggart. We had an extraordinary week, and now we're off the next week to TV show land. We are blessed to go to Vegas. VIP dinners Thursday and Monday. We'll be filming Thursday and Friday at the Wynn, our new studio, the Sirius XM studio, right there in the lobby of the Wynn. So lots going on, Craig, and I know you're part and parcel to some of it, so we love having you.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. So no more Blue Wire?
Nope, it's rolled up into Sirius XM.
Very good. Very cool. All good stuff. Marie Diamond, you said. She's awesome. She was on here a couple weeks back. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's when I invited her to come to SoFi. And, man, we streamed it on the Friday training. People went nuts when Marie was there. So many people don't know how easy it is to clear the interference in your life. So she's awesome. Obviously, she's in the Transformational Leadership Council with me, which are all the people from The Secret, and blessed to be a member of TLC. Shout out to Jack Canfield and Jim Quick and Deepak and all the great members of TLC.
Yeah, speaking of secrets, you want to know one?
Yes, I do.
You're adorable, so there's that. Well,
we got your big birthday coming up. We're going to be celebrating May 13th in New York, your birthday again. I know a couple weeks later, but we discussed how your dog's birthday is my birthday, and my dog's birthday, my old dog's birthday, is your birthday. So we are birthday twins.
How interesting is that? But not a coincidence.
No, just coinciding of our same frequency. And I was bragging about you yesterday to I forget who it was with all the people there, but I was saying, I know Lori from Protein Balls. I had introduced her into Marketplace Live and TikTok Shop, and so you'll be able to get your protein balls on TikTok Shop on Marketplace Live. But anyway, we were talking about you because she adores you, and I was saying, I had you as a guest host on Office Hours this week because Blaine took a day off from me, 602 episodes, I think. But I was sitting back listening to you and thinking, man, you've made a lot of progress. You are really good at getting these interviews down, man. And if you go back and watch episodes 1 through 10 of Paradigm Shift compared to episode, what are we at, 160 some or something? 161. Yeah, there's been market improvement in both of our performances.
For sure. That's what it's all about, compounding and the constant pursuit of fulfilling our potential. I'm going to bring on our first guest, Juggernaut Juicy Jeff, and we're going to get this party started.
That's awesome.
We got a great show on tap, Dave, as we always do. Real quick, while I'm bringing him on, let me ask you a weird question. What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is pretzels, man. It's very simple. Guilty. I'm a salt freak. I love those big Pennsylvania. I actually like the extra burnt ones, but I that's my guilty pleasure.
Fair enough. Without further ado, welcome, Juggernaut Jeff. Thank you for joining us, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Where are you dialing in from?
From the hills of Los Angeles.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Let's get this party started. Happy Saturday. For our community that might not have been familiar, do yourself a favor. Give him a follow. Check out all the awesome stuff he's got going on. We're just going to dive right in today. You talk about so many cool, important topics, but I think this one will be a really good to kick it off. Simply put, what is good stress?
Good stress is a series of protocols that I've adopted in my life for me personally, to reverse my diabetes. I also happen to lose a lot of weight in that process. But what I really discovered was the incredible benefits of actually doing hard things in your life. And, you know, what I say is doing hard things makes doing other hard things easier. And I've been the recipient of so many benefits from leaning into discomfort into an era that has been essentially engineered for comfort at every turn.
Yeah. And Dave, you say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's such a misconception about good stress and bad stress. If you look at life as three concentric circles, everyone has a comfort zone. That comfort zone varies in its size, determinative upon how much time, and Craig knows that I believe time is the dependent variable of all matter. So, how much time are you spending in that learning zone? And in the learning zone is good stress. Good stress is in the learning zone. And also, the next outer layer or concentric circle is an anxiety zone. That's bad stress. And so, how closely can we live on that edge between the learning zone and the anxiety zone? And how quickly can we get back out of the anxiety zone when we put ourselves into dis-ease? That's bad stress. And so, looking at life, what is in my comfort zone? Because if we can stay in the learning zone as well, one thing, Jeff, as you know, happens is that what used to be our learning zone becomes our comfort zone. What used to be our anxiety zone now becomes our learning zone. And we're in symbiosis with the universe, which is expanding. And that's how people increase their capacity and live at ease, where their ease is extreme dis-ease for so many other people. So you're exactly right on the good and the bad. Remember, good is in the divine direction where you want to be. Bad is that which interferes with it. And that's the simple, singular, customized, personalized to you, good and bad, the judgments and conditions we put on our activities. So thank you for, I know we're neighbors, so thank you for pouring into the community and letting them know that you can be ferocious and still be at ease.
And Jeff, you love to unpack the concept of ease.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and thanks for delineating between sort of bad chronic stress, which is such a signature of modernity, the constant pressures and anxieties, the 24-hour news cycle, social media, whatever, that can kind of stimulate this response in the body where we never emotionally regulate, we never come back to center. And that's characterized by all chronically high cortisol, et cetera, that can have all these detrimental knock-on impacts on human physiology. But we can actually refine our abilities to come back to center. We call that in the human organism, we call that homeostasis. And when you break that down, that's really the reflection of health, your ability to actually return to center. I mean, we know that psychologically, right? When we get distressed, when someone insults us, or, we're the recipient of some form of criticism, we can get off center. But then can we bring ourselves back to the middle? And there's so many different ways that you can train yourself to be able to refine that capability. Like, you guys probably spent a little bit of time in the gym. Like, the most simple, definition of good stress is, how do you build a muscle, right? You stress it, you overload it such that those fibers tear, and then you give it a little rest, you give it enough protein, and what happens? It grows back stronger. And that is true in so many areas of our life. So we really, need to like delineate between this bad chronic stress and the good stress, which is actually it, adopting deliberate self-imposed short-term acute stresses actually aligns us with how we evolved, because we evolved in relation to our environment, which was often a bit harsh. We had to endure, temperature fluctuations, but now we've got this nice cozy little digital thermometer on the wall. We can always be like nice and 72, and that's okay, that's nice. That sort of represents a certain kind of ease. But get into a cold plunge, right? What does that do to your resilience as a human being psychologically? I'll just give one very, very quick example. I went to the dentist yesterday. Hate going to the dentist, right? I mean, just think of what they do. You sit there and you get a 12-inch needle in your freaking mouth, right? Like, that's what's happening to me. But I have a regular ice bath protocol. I hate the cold. I don't really actually know. I know Wim Hof. I don't know if you know that cat. He came and stayed with me for 3 weeks. He hates the cold. He told me, I'm like, what do you do where do you go on vacation, wherever? He's like, anywhere warm. I hate the cold. Everyone hates the cold, even Wim Hof. Okay. So, but what happens when you get into a 40-degree ice bath? Well, your body has this involuntary, natural, adaptive stress response, right? You release all this epinephrine and you start to feel this wave of panic coming up into your body. But then you have this neo-mammalian prefrontal cortex where you can put top-down pressure on top of that bottom-up anxiety, and you build that capacity to do that, such that when you go to the dentist and they got that needle, like, right, you actually have the ability to emotionally regulate, that you can put that top down pressure onto stressors that are naturally going to occur into your life, and you become a better person. Like, you don't get freaked out when someone cuts you off in traffic, but that's just like a very anodyne example. But when something like really, really stressful happens in your life with a loved one or something like that, you have that ability to emotionally regulate and be the best person that you can
This
be.
is incredible. I think this is much deeper than people think. To be honest with you, that's why I like to run marathons, because it's about the transformation. And I think of the difference between pressure and stress. And pressure is actually a good thing, because typically on the other side of that is that growth, that expansion that you're referring to in the gym when the muscles recover. And then obviously the stress, they make that something.
Yeah, look, I mean, they call it resolve. What most people don't realize is when we are under either stress or pressure, that if we resist or accelerate in the wrong trajectory, and that's what most people do, is they don't look at the reaction they have to fear. And when we jump into a cold plunge, it evokes the ego to protect ourselves. And those who can get back to center and not accelerate in the wrong direction, or try to resist, go over, under, through, around, lie to, cheat, manipulate, or lie to, or deny the pain. But instead, those that realize that the answers lie within the resolve, the RE-SOLVE, to resolve the problem, is to get to center, to get at ease. And not only does it take practice, which creates wisdom, but inherent within wisdom is faith. And a lot of people don't realize that unless you believe there's this unified, abundant, infinite system, an all-powerful and all-knowing system that we're part of, then we don't have the faith to resolve it or resolve it or come to re-solution. Instead, what do? We panic. We have the need to be offended, right, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, and we continue to accelerate, aggregate, compound the pain instead of get to resolution or resolve. And so, whatever practices it is, and I love that you know so much more about the biochemical and bioanatomical reactions, but in a theoretical sense, we want to get to center and practice that to create a wisdom that inherent within that wisdom is faith to create quicker resolution, to allow ourselves to be at ease so we can utilize the all-powerful, unified, abundant system that we belong to and are part and parcel of. So, I mean, Jeff's speaking my language. I love people who can articulate things at a much higher intelligent level than I can, but it resonates with me, Jeff, and I just am so excited to learn more as well from you. And Wim's a good friend of mine. He's been on many things with us, and I'm with you. I hate the cold, but I have a saying. Craig knows this. If you can learn to love what you hate, and you do it every day, life will tell you all its secrets. And those are the cheat codes. So that's why I cold plunge.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to bring great humans together. Jeff, I don't know if you're busy, but if you have another 5-10 minutes, I'd love for you to stay on and bring on our second guest, Shannon. If not, I understand, but this is awesome, guys. I feel very blessed to be in the middle of this conversation right now. And that's a mind blowing to me that Wim Hof actually hates the cold.
Right? But by the way, Craig, I'm not running any marathons. I don't need that pain, so we're good there.
Yeah. Speaking of abundance, hey Shannon, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, great conversation. Good to be here.
Where are you dialing in from?
I'm just outside of Portland, Oregon.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I see some rain behind you. Today it's sunny, which is not normal for here, but yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to trade.
Not today.
But let's dive right in. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday. We encourage our community to check out all the awesome stuff that you have going on. We're big fans. Let's just dive right in. One of the things that you talk about a lot, and this is probably one of Dave's greatest superpowers as well, and he kind of taught it to me. I think it's overlooked, but I want to know why you think it's so important besides the obvious, and that is consistency.
Absolutely. Consistency is how we see results, picking up right where you guys left off, but also I find it in the ritual, which is each day when we show up for ourselves, it's really about self-love, and it comes back to knowing our worth and value and really expanding that to everyone around us. Consistency can also help us in times of chaos. There's so many things that happen out in the world that we don't have much control over, and sometimes we really need that control to feel better. But when we're consistent with the routine, whether it's your exercise routine or also how we talk to ourselves and what we say to ourselves is so important. That positive mindset or focusing on maybe solutions instead of what could go wrong is really important for starting to move your life forward, starting to see greater results, and then also tuning out the negativity. When you start up leveling in your life, there are people and situations that sometimes come to you that take your energy. And I think consistency is about pulling yourself back towards your goals. I think all this is really connected to everything you guys just talked about as well. So yeah, consistency is like the most important for us. And if we just show up each day and say, what can I do for myself today? I like to say, what can I do that my future self will hug me for? Because I'm a big hugger. And I have priorities. And so April is my month. My priority is health and wellness to the up level. Everything I eat is intentional. Everything I'm doing, my exercise routine, hired a new personal trainer. It's like on point. And each day when you do that, that consistency just gives you more love to yourself and those around you.
That's it. Dave, same frequency, obviously. But a lot of the stuff she says, you say too, but she says it a little more beautifully.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's an obvious statement, and I appreciate that as well. So many people do. That's why I love sharing information so that people can articulate it, so people understand it. But more importantly, I'm coming up to Oregon. I'll be speaking to the Oregon football team in a couple weeks, so I'll have to get together.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll have sunshine when I get there. Look, there's two things that are extremely annoying in life. and they're both extremely important to me, and they're both extremely difficult. One is the truth, and to be able to tell yourself the truth and not be too hard on yourself is extremely difficult. But to tell the truth to others is even more difficult. But the second thing is the most annoying thing is repetition. And so human beings, human nature, they hate the truth and they hate repetition. But no two things are better for you than the truth and repetition of good behaviors that are aligned in a divine direction, in divine time of where you want to be or better. And so I encourage people, and along with what Jeff was talking about, it creates stress to be repetitive because we have an ignorant arrogance that once we hear something once, that we know it. Once we do something once, it's a habit. It's part of our subconscious and unconscious, our quantum being. But unfortunately, we have genetic and energetic inheritances. We are hard coded, and even our soft codes. The subconscious mind has 40,000 of the same thoughts and behaviors, and 80% of them are negative. They're negatively inherited. So if you want to change or you want to grow, expand, or accelerate, you number one have to be honest and to yourself, and two, you have to be repetitive and consistent. So keep on teaching and preaching and singing all the praises of consistency in whatever manner that is much more beautiful than Craig Siegel or I. So thank you.
And you guys should definitely connect when you go out there, Dave. And Jeff, I imagine that's why you consistently do hard things every day.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, just on that line, I asked my wife, she runs and owns a lot of yoga studios, and I was like, what is the key to creating a safe set and setting for people? And I was expecting all these different answers and stuff, and she said continuity, you know, providing that place for people to come back to over and over and over again. And so I really resonate with that consistency message. Thank you for that.
This is great. I'll land the plane, Dave, with a final nugget. Shannon, there's so many places we could take this, and then I want you guys to tell our communities how they can best support you. Shannon, one of the things you talk about, which I think is really powerful, is flow, not force.
Yeah.
Let's unpack.
Imagine when you say that in your personal life when you're dating somebody, you're like, flow, not forced. This feels forced. We're done. That's been a mantra for me, and a mantra is a really powerful tool. It's a way to form focus brain on the truth and focus on living from our hearts. And any area of our life where we feel, that we're pushing too hard, there's desperate energy there. There's energy of, I really want it to happen, even when you're manifesting, trying to make it happen, or you're trying to put a goal in your life outside. What you want to do is recognize there's a force, which many of us know here, that allows us to be at more ease. It's an energetic law of attraction, all the kind of universal laws. More importantly, the energy into things is the intention. We're talking about wanting something. Still want it from a place of love, sovereignty. So if you're
For some reason, it's cutting out a little bit. I'm not sure why.
yeah, how's this? I saw you guys
Better.
We all looked a little blurry and pixelated there. So.
That's better.
Too much energy. You're interfering with the flow.
Of energy. And so since everything is energy, not sure where it kind of cut out, we really want to tap in. Like I'm working towards this from a place of fear and desperation, maybe goal to lose weight or meet, a certain outcome in your business. And it's like, I have to do this because I don't have this. That's desperation. That's force. We want to shift into flow of, I know I'm worth it. I know my abundance. I have the skill set. What is for me is always for me. And this is such a better place to live. It comes back to the truth, as you were saying, the truth of who we are. They were really allowed to live in a expansive way. Great question.
Yeah, it reminds me of what Jeff talks about with ease, and also Dave, right, Dave?
Yeah, no, look, it's simple for me. So many people want more in their lives, and they don't realize it's not by being more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, and more worthy. It's simply, I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? And I try to help people have that perspective. It's so funny. People try to search out fear. There's quantum fear, like I mentioned before, that inherited genetic and energetic fear. And then there's circumstantial fear as well, childhood trauma, things that would take a lifetime of therapy to figure out. I try to teach people, hey, why don't we just make things easy on ourselves? There's an instant and obvious way to know that we are afraid and we want to resolve that fear. And an instant and obvious way is the reaction to fear. When we're angry, worried, anxious, upset, offended, guilty, resentful, that's instant. And not when you're pissed off, you know it instantly. You don't have to know that it was because you were molested when you were 9. That is not helpful in the situation. What we want to do is get back to ease. And so if we can identify the instant and obvious and practice I am and figure out how to spend less time in the interference of what we are, you will be in the flow and you'll forget the force. And what a beautiful sentiment. And I appreciate that so much in pouring into this community. So thank you, Shannon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, this was amazing. Before we wrap up, real quick, Jeff, what are you most excited about right now? How can our community support and get involved?
Yeah. Well, I love not forcing. I'm a big Taoist, so Wu Wei, right? You know, swim with nature's current. And we are nature, right? We are actually engineered as part of this delegated adaptability of some greater intelligence, and we just actually have to get with it. And so a lot of what I teach and what I'm into is essentially leveraging the engineering, this miraculous engineering of the human organism, and actually getting with its flow, you know. And so that's what I'm excited about. I'm working on my book called Good Stress, and I just launched a course, an online course that covers all of these different protocols, which is in many ways about not forcing. So you can find that at my platform, which is called Commune. And yeah, just check it out. I love being with you guys. So
Love
many
being
interesting thoughts.
Yeah, and we'll put that stuff in the show notes. And Shannon, what about you? What are you most pumped about, and how can everybody support?
Yeah, I have actually more projects with my published works coming out, 2 decks and 2 books in the next few years. So deep in production, and they're all on wellness and everything we talked about today, and caring for yourself and showing up from a place of deep self-love, radical self-love. And so I would say, come to my Instagram, Shannon Kaiser Writes. I'd love to talk to people over there. I'm very active every day. My website, Play with the World. But I would say the best way we can support others to support, show up for yourself. We're talking wellness today. The more you take care of yourself, the higher, more self-love you're putting, more love you're putting in the world, and the more caliber you bring out. So keep going, guys, everyone.
I love it. Give yourself a hug, and we'll collaborate after. And Uncle Dave, Mobile Meltzer, what are you most pumped about? How can everyone follow you wherever you're traveling?
You know, I got so much going on, 200 cities, all the free trainings, free books. Just email me directly. It's much easier. David at dmeltzer.com. David at dmeltzer.com. Most importantly, be more interested than interesting. There's amazing people like Jeff and Shannon, and so many people on social are trying to be interesting. And I love social media because it's a great asset to be interested. And every time I get exposed or closer to people like you two and Craig, it just gives me more of a social silo, a library, a virtual library to learn so quickly instead of the old days. I'm the oldest one here, so I don't even need a library card. I don't have to go and search where the books are. The Dewey Decimal System is dead. All you got to do is find people like Jeff and Shannon, and you can be more interested than interesting. Email me, David at dmeltzer.com. I love all three.
Love you guys too. And guys, whoever's on the live right now, drop your favorite nuggets and takeaways in the comments once we post it. Thank you both. Love you guys. Have an unbelievable weekend. We'll connect after.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good
Bye.
weekend. Episode 161 in the books, guys. Go check out all the awesome stuff Jeff and Shannon have going on. Thank me later. Uncle Dave, thank you as always. And if you guys are near New York City, we're celebrating my birthday at a CLS VIP dinner next Saturday in Manhattan. If you want information or details, just feel free to hit me up. And if you like free inspirational nuggets throughout the week, you can text us at 917-634-3796. And Scott's Protein Bowls, we love you very much. About to have a couple bowls right now myself. Everybody else on here should be as well. And we love you guys. And see many of you just joined the community. Great. Hope to see some of you next week in Manhattan to VIP dinner. And I love you guys. Let's think really, 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 really big and channel the gifts that were given to us. Help reveal a lot of light and do some great things in this world. Love you guys. Toodles.